Have you been trying to find videos about Dior's Golden Nights collection, and in particular the holiday palettes that are limited edition? Well, I have both of them here and I'd love to share them with you. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, I'm the ThesPNation. I'm an OG YouTuber that reviews luxury beauty all the time. And as I always say, since you're already here, feel free to hit that like button, definitely hit that subscribe button, and most importantly, turn on those notification bells just so that you're aware of all the content that I have coming out. So today I'm going to be talking about Dior's Golden Nights collection. This is their holiday 2020 collection that nobody seems to be able to get their hands on in terms of all the products. Personally, I don't know what's going on. One day, a friend of mine who happens to work at a Dior counter told me about the collection and showed me the palettes, the two limited edition palettes that are a part of the collection, and I just went ahead and bought them because I was originally going to the store to buy some of the new quints that they have released. I went ahead and just bought a few of those, but you know, he showed me the actual holiday quints and I immediately fell in love, so I just had to get both of these. So you may have seen a few days ago I put up kind of like a preview. I was kind of just playing with editing just trying to create some type of anticipation for it because I haven't seen anyone actually review it. I think as of today I saw someone who is doing a video entirely in Spanish who has the palettes, but I haven't seen someone who's shown the shadows. That's a person of color who can show you what the actual shades will look like on our skin. So I'm happy to bring this video to you. I hope you guys enjoy it. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and go into the first look, which is going to feature Black Night. So in this demo, I'll be using Black Night, and I will be doing an intense look because Dior, as I mentioned, gives you options for a soft look or an intense look. So in the intense look, I'm going to use the bottom 3 shades per Dior's recommendation. So for starters, I'm going to use the Master Eye Prep and Set, and this is going to prime my lids, and I will also use the EF1 brush, both of course are by Makeup by Mario. So I'm just taking that flat end and applying the cream to my entire lid. And just so that you're aware, this compact is in the shade Deep, and I use the lighter of the 2 shades. Now I'm just going in with the powder and just tapping that on to lock the cream in place. For my crease, I'm going to go in with the center shade in the palette, and this is a very beautiful aubergine color, so it's a very nice, silky looking type of purple. It's just a very beautiful color. So normally I do start out here in the outer corner, but I'm actually starting in the center, just loading the color in there, and then make my way to the right, and then eventually I'll move over to the left to just make the color lighter in that area. In this center shade, it is absolutely gorgeous. I really like this color. It's beautiful. Now that I've laid that color down, I'm just going to go ahead and go in with an E4 brush from Makeup by Mario and apply the blue shade that's in this palette. It's a nice, beautiful navy blue. So I'm actually just going to pack this onto my lid and just have it blend into that aubergine color. Again, with my EF2 brush, I'm going to load up that aubergine color once again, the center shade of the palette, just to make sure that that's defined. Defined yet soft in appearance. Now as a final touch, I'll just go ahead and apply all 3 shades to my lower lash line. Just blend them all together just as a fusion, but of course put emphasis on the aubergine color. And I'll go ahead and apply liner to my waterline, put on lashes, actually put on foundation, and I'll go ahead and show you the final look. So here's my completed look using the Black Night palette. I would say that this palette out of the 2 is going to be the more problematic. I would say just for someone who is not into darker colors, or you know, just looking at the palette, a lot of people who may not know how to work with those types of shadows, they may want to, you know, use different shades outside of the palette. But again, if you're paying over $60 for a palette, you probably would want to use the shadows that are provided in the palette, because personally I wouldn't pay that that much money if I couldn't actually work with the colors within the palette. But again, per Dior, they give you two different options. You know, they actually show you, you know, which shades that they recommend to use. But again, of course, you can use any sets or any different combinations that you want. There's a number of combinations that you can make out of this. I personally really like this palette. It's a really gorgeous palette. I love the dark colors. I love the ideas that, you know, can come out of this. And again, if you do want to just, you know, if you have a very large makeup collection, eyeshadow collection, of course you could take shades out of this and incorporate it with other shades to, you know, just create your own signature look. But in the end, I do really like this intense look per Dior, just using the bottom three shades that are within the quint, so that, you know, of course the top is the soft look. But again, I like the intense look just because this gives me more of a vampy type of look, and so that's why I put on this particular lipstick. This is actually a Diorific lipstick. This is from a previous season, so of course it's long gone, unless it's actually a shade that they just probably repackaged. More than likely they have, but I'll definitely leave everything below as far as what I'm actually wearing in this particular tutorial. But again, this is the final look for Black Night. I hope you guys like it, and let's go ahead and move on to the next palette. Now that you've seen that tutorial, I'll go ahead and show you a tutorial of me doing this particular look, which is featuring the palette Golden Snow. Okay, so for starters, I went in with the Master Eye Prepping Set from Makeup by Mario, and this is in the shade Deep. And I always use the lighter of the two sides for the cream, and then to lock it in, I just use the setting powder on the inside. And just like the Black Night palette, I'm going to create more of an intense look, and so I'm going to use the bottom three shades again. And for the crease, I'm going to actually start out with the chocolate color that's in the bottom right-hand corner of the palette, and this is just a beautiful chocolate shade that has more of a satin look to it. And so I'm going to go ahead and use a Mario brush and hit the crease with that. And this is the EF2 brush. What I'm really enjoying about this palette is that the shades, they look a bit intense and they look very shimmery, just, you know, to the naked eye. But when you actually apply them, they're very smooth and they go on more. I'm loving the formulation. It's a very smooth, like silky type of appearance. It's beautiful. And it gives you just some tiny flecks, but not, you know, so much that you couldn't actually use it as a crease color. Now I'm going to go in with the Antique Gold shade that's in this palette, and it's actually in the bottom left hand side, and I'm going to use, what is this, an E4 brush from Makeup by Mario, and I'm going to pack that on to my lid. This color is so pretty. The shadows have very nice pigmentation, and just the way they lay down on the skin, it's just luxury type of feel. I don't know how to describe it. It's like night and day, you know, just coming from working for Dior and knowing how their shadows have been over the years. This formula, I love it. Just making sure that this lid shade is very defined, because on the ball of the eye, I'm going to go in with another shade on top of that to just create more light. Now I'm just going back into the crease with that EF2 brush and just making sure that that Antique Gold is blending in nicely with that chocolate shade. There's very little I have to do because it's blending very easily. And now that I have that down, I'm going to go in with a highlight on the ball of the eye. So I'm going to go in with the center shade here in the palette, and this is a beautiful champagne gold shimmer. I'm just literally going to pack this on the center or ball of the eye. And this will really just enhance that antique gold and create some dimension. Though I wanted to stay within the three shades within the intense category per Dior, I am going to go in with on top of the ball of the eye again. I'm actually going to go in with this shade and just give it even more dimension. This looks really beautiful in person just because you have this antique gold, and on top of that, you know, in the ball of the eye area, you have the champagne gold, and then on top of that, I just have a touch of this opalescent shimmer, and they all marry so well. And you will also notice that there's very little fallout, which is nice because these are more on the on the more shimmery side of the spectrum. This looks so pretty. I'm loving this. I'm really hoping this shows up really nicely on camera. This is absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on lashes, put a little shadow under my eyes, do all the little extra stuff, put on foundation, create the final look, and be right back. Okay guys, this is the completed look using the Golden Snow palette. Overall, I think that this is probably out of the two my favorite, just because the colors are more wearable and it's just much easier to come up with different types of looks. As I said, I did use the intense option as far as the shades that I chose, but technically I used 4 out of the 5 shades because I did use a little bit of that opalescent shade on the ball of the eye just to create a bit more dimension on the lids. But overall guys, this palette, out of the two, this palette is hands down my favorite. I do enjoy both of them. However, this one is just, I absolutely love this palette. This is really pretty. So hopefully you enjoyed this particular look. So, about these palettes. They retail for $62. I'm not 100% sure when these will actually go on sale. If I were you, I would reach out to someone at a counter to see if they may have the merchandise, but they just haven't put it on display just yet. I'm not sure what the delay is. I don't know what's going on. I actually, fun fact, I worked for Dior for 5 years. So, you know, I know that for a fact, the holiday collection, when things come out, all these things sell out almost instantaneously. You don't even have to really sell them. They sell themselves. I absolutely love these palettes. They are truly very beautiful palettes. And again, just remember that on the inside of the flap, it shows you 2 different looks that you can create, or just recommendations really, because of course at the end of the day, you can make the decision how you want to actually apply these shadows or how you want to pair them. Because honestly, these shadows can actually be applied alone, meaning that you could just put on one lid color and go out the door. It doesn't really matter, you know, if you want to blend multiple shades, you don't really have to do that. People just make things complicated when they don't have to be. And I will tell you that the new formula as well from Dior, their new eyeshadow formula is absolutely amazing. They kind of blend themselves. This is the type of formula that I would have wanted a long time ago, because for years customers did not like the palettes and they liked the shades, but they didn't really like the palettes. I'm very excited to see that they've, you know, made something so amazing. And I can tell you that in the 5 years that I worked for them, this is hands down the most beautiful collection of limited edition palettes they've ever released for a holiday. So I would recommend to get them. I think they're beautiful. Of course, Golden Snow is my absolute favorite. I think this one is absolutely stunning. Highly recommend this one. Of course, Dark Night, it's beautiful as well, but it's not for everyone because it maybe become a bit problematic for some people, because some people may not be able to work with those particular shades. But overall, this is, you know, they're offering something for everyone, I would say. Again, I can guarantee you that Golden Snow will be the first palette to sell out. There's a lot of Dior collectors and it'll disappear along with the Diorific lipsticks, the nail polishes, the gift sets, everything that's a part of the holiday release. So definitely let me know if you're interested in these. Definitely let me know what you think. I do want to say as well that, you know, I will continue to update my information in the description box as far as, you know, if I actually see these available in a store or actually on a website, so that I can provide you with links, whether they be affiliate or not. It doesn't really matter. I just want to help you guys out. So I will definitely keep you guys aware of that, so you can check the description box periodically, or you can ask me in, you know, future videos, you know, hey, you know, did you find anything out? Always feel free to reach out to me. And like I said, I did buy other palettes as well that are not part of this collection. I just bought, you know, from the main Quince collection. I did pick up 2 of those, so I will be reviewing those in future videos. So definitely stay tuned for that. There's a lot more coming along the way. Definitely also in the description box, in addition to checking the link periodically for when these are available, because again, I can guarantee you these will sell out almost instantaneously because it happens every single year. In the description box, I will include everything that I have put on my face in this video, just so that you're aware. And if you're interested, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with a whole lot more, guys. Bye.